The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
We came back with some really high grade rare earth element results. So for us, having those results come in shortly before kicking off our first drill program, I mean, we already had our geophysics sorted, we had our drill targets kind of ready, but getting these results back kind of helped us.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Sean Hillacre. He is the Vice President of Exploration for Standard Uranium. And Sean, good to see you again. How are you?
Likewise, Steve survived PDAC, so we're doing well.
Good to have you back and in one piece, of course. And you've got a number of pieces of news to talk about today, all surrounding the Rocas Project in the Athabasca Basin. So let's remind everyone a bit about the project itself and who's connected to it and really what you did some work on this project leading into today.
That's right, Steve. So the Rocas Project is one of our basement hosted uranium prospects. It's about 4,000 hectares just south of the Lake mine and mill facilities. So just outside the current day edge of the Athabasca Basin. And this one is under an option agreement with a company called Collective Metals. So Collective Metals can earn up to 75% of the project by completing a number of payments, share payments, and exploration expenditures over the next 3 years.
Mhm.
So our prospecting program you mentioned back in 2025 in the fall was kind of the first boots on the ground work on the project, leading into that year one spend for Collective Metals. And then now we've just kicked off the first drill program ever on the project just yesterday.
Yeah, and so the grab samples that you got came back with really positive numbers and really gave you some insight along with some other work of where these drill targets are going to go.
Yeah, it was kind of a pleasant surprise a bit on the rare earth element side. We were obviously expecting some uranium. We knew that there was, around 0.5% historically that had been noted at surface and outcrop. So we went back and we're trying to sort of ground truth and verify those historical results, and then covered other ground along the 7 or 8 kilometers of strike that we have of this corridor on the project. So really good to see good uranium results come back. We've got, over 0.4%, so pretty close to the historical things. Obviously we're looking for stuff that's high grade, more than 1%, but to have those types of grades in outcrop at surface is always great. So verified those, but then, like you said, we came back with some really high grade rare earth element results. So
Mhm.
for us, having those results come in shortly before kicking off our first drill program, I mean, we already had our geophysics sorted, we had our drill targets kind of ready, but getting these results back kind of helped us, plugging those in and layering those in to help tweak some targets and actually define some new ones was really great for us. So with the high grade rare earth elements, it's really nice to see and gives us an indication of what minerals might be there hosting them, looking at the geochemistry. So we'll be following up on some of those results this season for sure.
So it's 1,500 meters, 1,200 to 1,500 meters of drilling you're planning on doing. You obviously can't hit a whole ton of holes with that, but what sort of, you are just on the high priority ones right now? Or are you looking at some other ones as well? Or is it going to be a bit of a mix? And is it on the uranium side or the rare earth metal side or both?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, like you said, 12 to 1,500 meters, not a whole lot of room to run, but the thing is, we're looking at really shallow drill targets here.
Yeah.
So less than, a couple of 100 meters. So we'll be looking at still, 6 to 8 drill holes, which is pretty good tests across most of these high priority targets. So that being said, I'd mentioned that we already kind of did our geophysics. We had our kind of priority targets in mind. Again, keep in mind that there's never been a drill hole on this project ever.
Yeah.
So linking in those surface results with what we already had planned, didn't change things too much because, we had good results showing up in high priority areas already defined. But that being said, we might be tweaking our priority slightly based on these. So some new targets came out of this, which is great, and really bolstered some of the ones that we already had. So looking forward to getting the drill spinning. We everybody got up there yesterday, and we're going to be kicking off and spinning here probably tonight or in the next day or two.
Well, it sounds exciting. Look forward to seeing some of the results from there and what comes out of it. Sean, thanks so much. Really good update as always. And again, we look forward to our next conversation.
My pleasure, Steve. Yeah, we'll talk soon. There's lots happening.
All right, good stuff. Look forward to it. Sean Hillacre, Vice President of Exploration for Standard Uranium.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.